right, guys, this was absolutely ridiculous. I'm talking insanity. It's official. Gavin Newsom, as I like to call him, is out of the closet now. Okay, he just officially earned his Klan hood. Yep, that's right. With what he just did, he is completely out of the closet. This is a prime example of white supremacy, and I'm going to explain why. As a matter of fact, don't take it from me, because I'm going to share with you what another esteemed black gentleman had to say about Gavin Newsom. And he's not a Republican, but he explained exactly why Gavin Newsom is a white supremacist, and he's out of the closet now. So let's just check out the ridiculous comments that he made when he was making this completely insane attempt to relate to black people. Let's check out the clip.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you. I'm a 960 SAT guy. and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech. This may be the wrong business to be in. My dyslexia, I haven't overcome dyslexia. I'm living with it. I was the guy in the back of the classroom and my head down, just praying the teacher didn't call on me. I went through, I think I lost count of how many schools I had to go to. And, I'll never ever forget. My mom's choice was never to label me. She just had to struggle with me. And I walked in, I'll never forget this. It was probably 8th or 9th grade, walking home, got home early. My mom was always working, so, I'm cooking, literally lived on Stouffer's lasagna, macaroni and cheese. I got finished, 2 pots of macaroni and cheese and got bored. And I went upstairs and there was a file cabinet open and it said Gavin. In fact, she had a weird name, Gavinsky. That was like my nickname. And I opened it up and it was all of these reports from the doctors. And I never realized I was going after school 3 days a week. I didn't know what for. And it was all around. It was the lisp and the reading, the B's and the R's were backwards, spelling witch, W-I-C-H, the whole. And I'm like, what is this? And that's when I learned I had, quote unquote, dyslexia. My mom was furious because she didn't want that to limit me.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm like you. I'm stupid. I only got a 960 on the SAT. And I'm not trying to be better than you because you got a 940. Holy mackerel. I don't know what to say about that. First off, right off the bat, I don't relate to that. If I was there, I would be booing, okay? Because I took the ACT, not the SAT, and I got a 23. I skipped an entire section of the ACT and I still got a 23 when I was, 18 years old. And that was enough to get a partial scholarship and get into engineering school. My kids scored in the high 20s. I think one got a 29, one got a 28, one got a 24. So we don't fall into this whole group of people that he is trying to relate to. So you're sitting in front of a crowd of black people and you make these comments. Now go back and watch again and look at the reaction on the guy's face while he's sitting on stage while Gavin is saying, I'm stupid just like you. And he's like, hang on, who the heck is this fool talking about? Now, there's some interesting things that if you just look and kind of dig behind the scenes here. First of all, when you make a statement like, I'm no better than you, there's a presupposition involved. That means that you are presupposing a truth, okay? So when you tell a group of people, hey, I'm no better than you, you're presupposing that you think this group of people actually believes that you're better than them. Now that's offensive. That's a total insult. So he walks into a group of black people automatically assuming that black people think he, greasy head Gavin Newsom, is better than them. Oh, boy, that's quite white of you, quite white supremacist of you. And then to sit up and tell all these lies about how you were poor, eating macaroni and cheese, and he had a couple other speeches where he was talking about how he grew up on bologna sandwiches and stuff, and trying to relate to poor black people as if all black people grew up on macaroni and cheese, bologna, and Kool-Aid. Interesting. That's also a presupposition that we're all the same, that we're not just, say, a broad band of rich all the way down to poor. We're all stupid. We all can't score higher than a 960 on the SAT, and we grew up on poor people food. Wow. So now let's say if he really was that stupid, and he's not, because he's lying through his teeth, because he sits here and says that, he can't read and can't barely do speeches because he can't read a teleprompter. Meanwhile, when he's talking to the white folks, he brags about how he read this person's book that was 400 pages long. He read it in one night. I think he said that he finished off the whole book in like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So where the hell is your dyslexia when it comes to talking to white people and reading a book in an hour and a half flat, going through 400 pages? But all of a sudden, when you're talking in front of the black folks, well, hey, I'm not trying to impress y'all. I was just like y'all. I'm dumber than a box of rocks. Oh my gosh. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, this guy is a white supremacist, okay? It's white supremacy. And don't presuppose that I believe that there is a supreme race, because I don't. White supremacy is a thing, but it only exists in the minds of certain white people, not all white people. These are the folks who actually think that Caucasians are a superior race, and they think they're over and above everyone else. Now, the misnomer is that white supremacy only resides in the minds of conservative Republicans, all right? Everybody is always accusing Donald Trump of being a white supremacist, but it is equally as frequent, if not more frequent, with liberals. Yeah, the Democratic Party, and I'll be telling you more and more about that in other videos. But the Democrats tend to do this all the time, what Gavin Newsom just did, where he assumes all black people are poor, all black people are stupid, and you gotta talk slower when you's talking to black people because they ain't nearly as intelligent as the superior white folks. That is white supremacy. It's the automatic presupposition that black people are not on your intellectual level. Now, I mentioned that there was somebody else that came out and made some comments, a black person, and this person is not a Republican. Well, who is it? It was Cornell West. Now, let me tell you about what Cornell West had to say, and it further explains why I'm telling you that Gavin, the greasehead new scum, is a white supremacist. Here's what Cornell West had to say. Cornell West said that when he, Gavin Newsom, thinks of black people, he automatically thinks of lower SAT scores and eating poor people food. That is a white supremacist presupposition. And he also went on to say that mindset sits at the core of white supremacy. The belief that black people, African Americans, are less beautiful, less moral, less intelligent. That is it. That is the core of white supremacy. And lastly, a couple more things he said. He said that Newsom should have taken a more humanistic approach instead of implying similarity, to be relatable, through academic struggle. That's a bad assumption to make when you're trying to relate to an entire sector of the population, the black population. So Cornell West argued that Newsom's attempt to relate to black people by citing poor test scores was racial stereotyping, not solidarity. Pretty slick, Gavin Newsom. I think that this probably is going to spell disaster for him as far as running for president. There's a couple reasons why. First of all, he just insulted the entire foundational Black American population in this country. And second of all, he just gave someone fuel to the fire that he's got to run against. And my prediction is that the primary is going to get ugly. And these two people are going to tear each other apart. Now, who is that person? It's none other than Kamala Harris. Yes. Now, I don't know if you've been watching the news lately, but Gavin, the greasehead Newsom, made some rather sideways insults. He made some disparaging comments about Kamala, okay? But he framed it like it was a compliment, but it wasn't. He basically said that the only reason why Kamala had the success that she had was because of a certain former mayor of San Francisco. Was it San Francisco or was it Los Angeles? Well, you know who that person is. And they were 30 years difference in age. So when he was the mayor of Los Angeles, correct me in the comments, whichever city it is, I don't remember. He kind of gave her some payback and set her up with some primo positions within the government and then pushed her where eventually she becomes the attorney general of the state of California. And then, of course, she gets picked to be vice president, runs for president, and fails. So Gavin Newsom was trying to say, yeah, she owes everything to him as if it was a compliment. But what he was implying was that the only reason why she had that success is because she was someone's boyfriend who was in a powerful political position. And we know that that individual was married to somebody else. So that is probably going to crawl under the skin of Kamala Harris. And when the primary starts, I'm going to tell you what, she's going to come back with guns a-blazing, and she's going to be looking to get him back for that. She's going to be out for blood. Mark my words. She's going to bring up this speech and what Gavin, the greasehead Newsom, said to this group of black people about, I can relate to you. I'm just like you. I'm also stupid. She's going to bring it up. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Do you think that Kamala is going to bring it up? Do you think that Gavin Newsom and Kamala are going to tear each other limb from limb when it comes time for the primary, if both of them stick it through? If Gavin, the greasehead nuisance, sticks in there and survives what he just did. Now, he's already come out and said that it's just the Republicans making up stuff and nobody was offended and he's a great person. And of course, he's not a white supremacist that just earned his Klanhood, who just came out of the closet in his complete Klan outfit. He says, no, that's just politics. It's just the Republicans are doing all that. Now, I don't know if he's going to make it. I hope he does because I can't wait. I'm going to have my popcorn ready, and I'm going to be highly entertained when these two people go at each other. But in the meantime, I've just had it with these closet white supremacists that have this whole notion that they're better than other races of people because they think in their mind that they're better than everybody else. And that's not disparaging. That's only a percentage, a small percentage. I mean, you've got a percentage of all subcultures that really have some rotten thinking, okay? People don't pick their race. And I've got lots of very close friends of mine that are white people that don't think that way, that are not white supremacists, okay? So I'm not one of those types that I like to stereotype and disparage a whole group of people. That is what you call bigotry, all right? And that's a topic for another video too. But I do think that the bigotry within the Democratic Party is worse than the bigotry within the Republican Party. And the next video that I do, I'm going to show further proof that the bigotry in the Democratic Party is more out of control when we talk about what happened to yo girl, the ghetto Congresswoman, Jasmine Crockett. Yep, that's coming up next. But I want you to post your comments, ask all the questions you want. I mean, answer all the questions that I just proposed to you. And if you want to ask something back, well, by God, you can. But share this video with someone that you know that is a Gavin Newsom fan, especially if they are African American, and ask them what their thoughts were about the comments about this man being stupid and therefore relatable to black people. That's all I got for this one. I'm out.